went live.
Okay. Yeah, I still can't hear you. It might be something with my speakers, maybe. Try something now.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I switched my speakers. That worked. All right, cool. Well, how you doing? So I guess we're just waiting on numbers from them.
Yeah, they should be on in a moment. I made a couple of notes about the game. Just looks like a couple of pretty good teams. I'd think at maybe the Jets are the highest in the league at 6.2 yards per play. That's really impressive. And I believe Oakland's got to be one of the lowest at 5.1. So they've been playing really good defense all year. Tell me, who do you think has the best card in this 2019 card set?
What position?
Any position.
Any position. Huh. Well, I probably Lamar Jackson. I'd say Lamar.
I would too. I like McCaffrey. He's a great all-around guy that you can use all day long. But if I had to pick one guy this year that I would want, I think it'd be Lamar Jackson. And he played pretty well. He's got him well supported with a bunch of 7 pass blockers. So,
yeah, it's it's a handful to try to just figure out what to do with that. So, I haven't had to play against it too much this year. Doesn't look like I'll play it unless, I don't know, maybe a Super Bowl or something. If somehow we both make it there, but I guess you and I are playing each other next round, isn't that right?
Yes, sir. I had in Autumn Wind, I had to face Lamar Jackson. I caught him really early on, and I pretty much shut him down. I think he went 18 for 21 against me. He killed me at 11.6 per attempt, but I did keep his running plays down. He was only like 20 yards rushing against me, but he killed me. I was barely able to win the game. It's just because he'd get in the red zone and stall. And I don't really think that's necessarily a Lamar Jackson problem. I think it's just the way that game worked out. But one of the things you can do against a guy like that is double team, try to get into the double team column on those short and long passes. Maybe call pass, you'd think, but he's got a really good guess wrong card. Shadowing's a really iffy proposition for a lot of us. You go for the pass rush. If so, Tom's got a great one. He's got Chandler Jones. So.
Yeah. Well, it'll be fun to figure out. Are they getting ready here?
I haven't seen anything yet.
I just heard something click. I thought that maybe they were ready. So.
Okay, I just heard running a few minutes late. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, that explains that. So.
I don't believe.
Yeah, I mean, he was the league MVP. I had to, I traded the pick. I traded the pick that would have gotten him in SSFA for a pick this year, and I don't know. It was a tough call, but made the trade with John Madden, and I know he's real happy with Lamar. So I wound up adding. I guess basically it kind of was, well, you could kind of say I got Matthew Stafford and Quentin Nelson for Lamar Jackson for the most part. You could kind of say that. So I don't know if I'm better or not, but
I still like Matt Stafford. He's still playing well right now.
Well, and we'll see where he winds up this year. There's a whole bunch of teams that would be clamoring to get him. The ones that I hear, well, the Colts. I hear that the Colts make perfect sense. And I'd like to see him play with the Colts. They've got a good roster already, and they play indoors. So, and Frank Reich's a good offensive-minded coach. So that'd be a good fit. I've heard New England. I've heard Washington football team. He retires. San Francisco, I've heard. So, those are some different possibilities that are floating around out there.
Yeah, and no doubt some team like Houston might be in the mix. It's got a quarterback they got to trade. You never know. Some team may work out a three-way deal. It doesn't just have to be single.
Yeah.
Maybe the Lions get Darnold if there's a deal involving the Jets, and Houston doesn't want to get back Darnold. So you never know what may happen in the NFL.
Those teams is like more rebuilder types. Houston, I think they're about to go into a rebuild. I don't think they're going to take in. I don't think they'll take in Stafford on a rebuild, but maybe they want to be, competitive right away. Who knows? They got a new regime coming in. So
he's really cheap by modern quarterback standards, if I'm not mistaken. He's like 21, 22 cap hit, so he's not going to tear your cap up, and give you stable quarterbacking for a couple of years.
Yeah.
You might think Lamar Jackson's one of those guys that is kind of like Josh Allen, in fall leagues. Those are guys that were going a lot of times really mid to late first, second round, late second even, because people just weren't sure. They're starting pretty high draft picks, but are these guys going to be really good passers? Well, both of them have turned into actually pretty good passers as far as statistics go.
Yeah, Josh Allen really exploded. Surprised me, to be perfectly frank. I did not see him getting so good so fast. Didn't know he could be that accurate of a passer. But he seems like a perfect fit to play up in Buffalo. Having come from Wyoming, he seems like a rock solid quarterback for a good while.
Yeah. Well, we don't have any sponsors, Jay. If you don't mind, I'm just going to throw in a little something for fun here for about 15 seconds. And again, we have no sponsor, so any production things are, entirely the courtesy of ripping somebody else off. So I'll play something here and then give you the SOMIFA Nito stat of the night.
It's time for
EJ's Nito stat of the night.
presented by no one.
Unsullied sponsorship since 1989. Thank you very much. It has come to my attention that some folks who watched the Nito stat of the night have said, you know what? Rarely does it involve a stat.
Okay, that's enough of that. But here's my Nito stat of the night anyway. These teams can't recover fumbles. The Jets, 25 fumbles between the teams. They got 5 of them. And Oakland, out of 35 fumbles, recovered 9. So these teams are kind of due for falling on some fumbles.
So somebody should even out for somebody tonight, or maybe they just won't fumble at all. So
yeah,
that's hurt. That hurts when you want it to be 50-50 or so.
It's
and
one of those things you feel like you're getting snake bit, but then you look around at other things on your team and you're like, okay, yeah, McCaffrey hit his plus 76 like 6 times. Yeah, you can find other things that kind of equal, but those things kind of jumped out at me when I was looking at the stats. I'm like, man, both teams really struggled just on a 50-50 thing,
Huh. Yeah. I know what that feels like. Adeline's going through that in the IFL. So, but this is about these guys, and they're both good teams here. So, Jets are almost dead even in scoring. Scored 4. They're at 419 points for and 397 points against. So they gave up a lot of points while scoring a lot of points. Oakland, yeah, you talked about their defense. They scored 395 of giving up 312. So yeah, a little bit more of a gap there.
If you look at the one of the things they had a large difference in, they were both really not blown out. Neither team blew out a lot of teams, so they played a lot of pretty close games. But yards per pass attempt on defense, 5.3 for Oakland. They played great pass defense, 7.6 for the Jets. So even with all the 38-6 sack differential the Jets had, they were getting a lot of yards and giving up a lot of yards per play.
Yeah. 38 sacks, 6 allowed. That's impressive.
So yeah, that's a huge advantage for, getting into, first down territory. It's hard to stop offenses in SOMIFA. It really is. And 38 sacks is a big benefit in getting off the field.
Mm-hmm. Although they still gave up close to 6,000 yards, 58-40, while they put up close to 6,000, a little more than they gave up at 59-55. So teams are still able to put yards up against them. That's despite the 38 sacks, totaling another 280 yards. And, of course, that should equal a lot of times off the field, a lot of punts. So, interesting.
You've been getting some of them on third down. You never know. And, the yardage is always helpful. Chandler Jones had a bunch of them. I don't remember exactly, but he had like over 15, I want us to say. So, things like that happen. Bosa and Dante Fowler give some pass rush to Oakland. However, both these teams have a lot of 7 pass blockers. You can beat those guys, and it's easier to beat them with a free safety blitz, but are we going to see that when you're looking at 7 pass blockers? Do you really, want to take the chance to get a couple of sacks that you're going to give up that sniper scope?
Yeah.
If it's hard to get off the field, teams got to sometimes think of other ways to try to get off the field.
Looks like we're ready.
Heard some ticking.
All right.
Okay. So right before kickoff, any predictions, Jay?
Nope. Fun game.
Yeah.
I'm not touching that one. Feel free to do so yourself, but I'm not touching.
We don't have to play either one of them for a week, but I get a feeling the bulletin board would still have it up, so I'm not going to say anything.
Who's home team? I should know that, but who's home team here?
That'll be the Jets.
Okay. So we'll go and say, if I have to, we'll just say the Jets because they're home team. That home field advantage, it can be big. That 9 on the short pass card is a big deal. Between turning into a pick and turning into a hit on 5 through 11, I guess, with 3 guys in the zone. So we'll see if that shows up at all.
I'll go ahead and go with Oakland if we have to make a pick, and I don't want to leave you hanging out there by yourself. That way we'll kind of keep things balanced. And like I say, it's going to be tough to stop Lamar Jackson, even if you know what he's going to do. It's hard to stop him. Things that hold Oakland back a little bit is Gurley's not nearly as good a running back as McCaffrey in this particular set. So
yeah. So we got an I formation here with Ricard, the blocking back, leading away from McCaffrey. That's a nice weapon to have that 6. You can run it off the left side and get that blocking back. Quick, and that was fast. That's a fast. Don't didn't get to see that real quick, but looks like an 11-yard hit, beat the linebacker in the zone for the short gain. So first down right away.
Andrews had a really big year, maybe, one of the top three tight end cards in the set. He had, 900 yards, roughly 90 catches, something like that. And he's there's an all 5 secondary here. It's Ertz tight end on the other end, and he's going against a 4. Both teams have 5s at corner. So it's going to be interesting to see how they defend. Neither one really has a hole in the secondary, but like I say, Ertz versus a strong safety 4 may create some double team opportunities there.
John Jose Feliciano unable to throw the block. McCaffrey called right. So we've got our first 3rd and long situation here.
We'll see what kind of set he goes into. 3 wide receiver set.
Lots of 5s back there, and that's secondary. That's a nice solid secondary for Oakland.
Yeah. Levante David in the middle is a 6 versus run containment, takes away a little bit of your draw option.
Yeah, he's in a shotgun, so you're not going to see McCaffrey around the end.
And Fitzpatrick doesn't have it this year. Short pass, defender knocks it down, almost picked off. Tipped up in the air, but the free safety couldn't quite get his hands on it. We've got a 4th and 7.
Although we see right there the difference between the good and the good pass defense and the average pass defense. That's an interception if Oakland is the home team.
Good point.
Kenjon Barner, 6 yards out to the 16 is where Oakland takes over. And let's see what the MVP of the NFL, Lamar Jackson, can do in his first drive.
Barner's a weapon in this game. He doesn't have very many fair catches, so he's getting you steady yards. And the Jets, that's one of their few weaknesses. They don't really have a lot of good punt return yards. So 2 touchdown, never know.
Yep.
Solo back, So
is this a pro set we see here? It is a pro set. Ricky Seals-Jones. I don't think he'll carry the ball much today. 3 men in his zone, bringing some pressure.
Seals-Jones is a good pass blocker. I think he's a 0.5. I traded him this offseason, and I believe he's a 0.5. We'll check real quick.
I traded him Robbie Anderson a few years back. He just missed that, so you won't be happy. But look at those yards, so many catches. A 19-yarder on an 8, 17-yarder on a 9, and a long gain on 12. So he can stretch it a little bit, even in the short on the short column, on the short pass column. Blitz being shown.
You figure Chandler Jones is coming when the free safety blitz is on as well, quite often, because you want to. Yep, there he goes.
Look-in's open if you find a defensive card.
And
he does, 20 yards.
Nice pickup there.
Yeah, and that would have that was not a white die 6. That was just an open zone 20-yarder off the 10.
He did generate a pass rush on the pass rush chart, 1 through 17, just didn't get it that time.
Yeah, Havenstein up against Ingram. It's 17% chance there. All right, here goes John Brown on a flat pass, white die 6. Now it's a sneaky white die 6 because that's a defender X if there's not a 6 in the zone anyway. So that's a short gain regardless. Unless you have unless you have a 6 in the zone who will knock it down. So
exactly. So we've got a couple of completions on the flat zone from Lamar Jackson, one into an empty zone, one on linebacker 6.
There goes Lamar. Let's see what he does here. On the defensive guard, defense ready for it, throws him back a couple.
This is one of those teams got great interior blocking, but not so great at the offensive tackle and tight end spot.
And that's, obviously Lamar Jackson he's not looking to run between the tackles.
Yeah.
Gurley, he's going to pound it on you, but he's not he's down, obviously. His knees just aren't what they used to be. Another blitz being shown. Aggressive defense from Tom. That's the way he plays it.
Everybody's coming. And we got,
down goes Frazier.
Ingram couldn't quite get there the last time. He does get there this time.
Really low roll there, roll of a 5. But, 35% chance. Havenstein couldn't make the block. And so now we got 3rd and 17. What do you dial up 3rd and 17?
This is one of those you don't worry quite as much about Lamar Jackson's must run. He's got like 6 units of 30 or 20 plus, maybe even 30 plus. However, you don't want to, overplay that and get hit with a 20-yard empty zone flat pass. So, call. No blitz being shown.
Going deep to Robbie Anderson.
Looking for a must run. There it is, 30 yards.
Oh, and a 30-yarder.
So, yeah, he 2 through 4, he's got a great chance of picking up a long first down for you.
And he hit it.
There.
Yeah. That's a big play here early. Rebound after that sack. You get that, your two negative plays, and you come back with, Lamar just said, I got this.
So Ricky Seals-Jones can go deep, and he's working against Chandler Jones, who not only won't be there a lot of the time, but is 0. So we expect to see Seals-Jones deep at least once or twice in this game.
2 men in a zone to a running back out of the backfield. A lot of negative hits come up there, but they find a receiver on the 9 for 5 yards and stay ahead of the chain. So, a couple nice hits for Jeff here. Jeff Bevier, I guess, what is it? He's out in Alaska, so it's probably about noon out there in Alaska right now.
Both teams have good, solid kickers. Tom had some extra point issues during the year, but both teams have good field goal kickers. So we see a one running back set here, 3 wide receiver with pistol. Lamar Jackson can still end run.
How do you feel about that here? 3 wides on 2nd and 5.
Yeah, everybody's got different things they do. Now you've got Tom in a 3-3-5, so linebuck is a big option with your great interior line, and there it is.
And he gets the 3, does not see a white die 1, so that picks him up 4 yards, creates a 3rd and 1.
Yeah, what you're doing, of course, is creating a mismatch where even though you knock them all down a notch on the interior line, you've still got a really good, set of run blockers there. And you've got the box in play, which probably makes up for the difference between Gurley's right and wrong and running against one, man more likely in the linebacker zone. So I expect we'll see that play quite a bit today.
You've got, and I guess the 7 and the 8 generate 7 yards, 9 yards, something like that.
Yeah.
Ooh, look in, that's like quadruple or triple teamed, right? You've got 2 guys in a zone and a double team, yet Lamar still almost sneaks it into him, just misses with a 5. We're going for it here, eschewing the points.
Most coaches are going to go for it, but in the playoffs, there's a lot of us that think, I've got to get something out of the drive. So big play.
Yeah. Okay, flat pass. 2 guys in the zone, hits the defensive card, a 50-50 ball, and Tom double stuffs it nicely and gets off the field. So
it's hard to say you really guessed the play totally wrong there. That's you had the right zone covered, so you made a good call on defense. I always feel if you put the right 2 men in the right zone, even if it's wrong.
Like I said, turn into a 50-50 ball, and the ball bounced your direction. So there you go. And flat pass, guess right, 3 yards, real solid card. Of course, McCaffrey is such a good weapon as a receiver. Mark Andrews, flat guessed right. He only misses on 8 and 9. maxed out flat card. So
tons of guest right yards there.
yeah,
He
and
could have picked up a first down most of his card there. So you got all 3rd and 7, and we're back into shotgun. I didn't know if he was going to go shotgun with the middle linebacker being 6 in containment. So far, he is.
And you're in shotgun, so it won't be an end run. So if he gave up containment and little flat pass for only 4 yards, and we're probably looking at a punt. I don't see Dennis out here playing right now, so 4th and 3, the Jets will punt.
Both of these teams had pretty much a league average number of 4th down tries, so yeah, you're probably not going to see anything super risky. Of course, 4th and 1 from opponent's 13, a lot of coaches go for that, even if they're not high risk takers.
Yeah. Now, Tom's been inclined to go for the 2-point conversion. It knocked Dan Morin out of the playoffs and get 2-point conversion at the end of their last game of the regular season. Good drive start for Oakland here.
A little bit of an interesting strategy of not going blocking back, don't you think?
Yeah. The 15-yard hit.
Seals Jones.
Yeah, he I wonder why he likes the pro set over the blocking back.
Did you get the one extra protection boost? Here's Seals Jones' card, just so you know what we're going to see later, because I predict this is going to be a big target today. 59, I don't know if it's capped or not, but if it's 59, you don't worry a whole lot. So, yeah, I think him working against a 0 who he wants to, throw at a little bit because the fact he's going to blitz a lot. I get a feeling you're going to see Seals Jones a lot.
Yeah, that is interesting. Do they flip flop? Is Jones against?
No, that's the way it would work out either way. And you're looking at a couple of outside linebacker 0s right now. And Gurley is.
Got the wrong blocker, right? The tackles are weak, guards and centers are strong. So only
Gurley being a 3 pass blocker, you're only losing 1 pass block if the asterisk comes up. So Gurley's probably going to get some passes too. But like I say, I get a feeling he's going to really work Seals Jones down the field a little bit in this game.
That could be it. If in a pro set, does the second running back who stays in the backfield, does he pick up the blitzer?
No, the left linebacker, as far as defensive assignment, is going to pick up the blocking back or the fullback, so that doesn't flip anything. And the highest rated pass blocker will pick up.
If it's an asterisk and you're in a blocking back, if you're an asterisk and the blocking back is out on a pass, it's an automatic sack. I wonder if by keeping Gurley back there, he doesn't have that in a pro set. Do you know what I'm saying?
It'd be the same with a pro or blocking back set there. If one of those guys is out in coverage, it'll default to the next guy. If you have 2 of them, of course, in a 3 wide receiver offense with a 1 guy, then yes, the asterisk becomes automatic, but it doesn't become automatic if you've got a contingency pass blocker for the asterisk.
Okay. It was my understanding that the blocking back set, the blocking back goes out on a pass and asterisk comes up, it's an auto sack. But I guess I'm wrong with that. So
I could be wrong on that, but my assumption was as long as there's somebody back there, it would come up. So.
Yeah. So we've got a good drive going here. We got as Gurley gets guessed right. What is that guessed wrong there, Tim? If
look, that was a good call by Tom there. Only 1, so
only 1, so he still would have been a run contain. So now we've got a 3rd and 6, run contain in effect at the 21.
And you've got a 6 here, middle linebacker, but he's only a 4 for containment, Deion Jones. So there's a possibility here that you might, see a possible play from Gurley, but I'm almost sure we'll see a pass.
Who's in at right linebacker now? He took, looks like he's got something, he shook something up. Who's at right linebacker?
Yeah, he's got a Damian Wilson, a 4-4 over there.
Okay, he's in for coverage.
And he picks up the first down going at Damian Wilson, who gets beat with a 6-0.
White die 6. Yeah.
Got a 1st and 10 at the New York Jets 12, which is about where the last drive ended for them. They'll try to get some points on this one. Showing blitz.
Another good-looking drive for Oakland. They had a good drive start at their own 43 or so. There goes Lamar around the end, guess right. Nobody in that hole. The guard should throw that block. So good call by the defense, but this time Joel Bitonio comes through and plows the road for Lamar Jackson, and the Raiders are in business inside the 5, 2nd and goal at the 2, or 2nd and goal at the 4, 2nd and 2 at the 4. I'm having a little trouble today. It's late for me. I'm getting tired.
See if he'll probably stay showing blitz, I would think.
I would think so too.
He may be changing somebody out if he's got a better goal line kind of player here versus the run. He is showing blitz.
Yeah, who's that outside linebacker now? Okay, Ryan Anderson.
Yeah, Ryan Anderson now. So
okay.
Let's see who else he has. Same. There's Gurley, guessed right up the middle, flooded zone.
Try to pump it up the gut. Got half of it. 3rd and 1 from the 3.
You see the full house set here now with Bo Scarborough and Justice Hill.
The days of the great guest right backs, you don't see it as much, although you have one on the other side, obviously, with McCaffrey.
Yep. Got a full couple of 4s up the middle versus the run, 5 nose tackle, but the inside linebackers are 4.
One short called right, and down goes Frazier. Big sack there. So this time you'll see the field goal unit come out.
Got the asterisk there. That time it came up being Jeff Heath. He and Chandler Jones having a great chance. Of course, Chandler's a 12. Kick is good on 11.
So, Ricky Seals-Jones probably makes the block there, but, you want to have your runners in showing to take away those keys down there. You see why Ricky Seals-Jones not in the backfield at that point.
So right at the this will be the last play of the first quarter, and Oakland's up 3-0 after a touchback. Fitzpatrick will take over.
I think Thomas to feel very fortunate. He's probably given up a good, over 100 yards, 2 really nice drives from Oakland.
Yep.
He hasn't done a whole lot on offense. Has only given up 3 points.
And he brings David Montgomery in for play. Goes pass anyway. 25 carries left for McCaffrey and no injury, so it's probably just to break things up, not show the same thing every down.
That's open. Oh, but found a hole on Fitzpatrick's card. It was if that's on the defense's card, it's a big long gain because that zone was open. No injuries in the playoffs, so that was Snake Eyes 1. No injuries. First down.
Nice pass there. Mark Andrews picking up the first down.
So you got 18 hits on Fitzpatrick's card, flat, plus 9 receiver chances.
Gets 3 guessed wrong. McCaffrey now 3 for 6. He's one of those guys that can, hit you up for a 150-yard game just like that. And it doesn't always have to show early. He could be 10 for 30 yards and then just tear it up after that. So.
Yeah, only 3 carries so far. He'll get his totes. It's just a matter of getting them worked in. We're seeing the Jets. Of course, the Jets haven't had too many first downs.
It's another guess wrong shot for McCaffrey off tackle.
Well, nose tackle gets beat, but only 3.
Yep. He's got a 0 nose tackle, so Tom may work inside a little bit.
He's a 4, isn't he?
Yeah, a 4. And Tom's got a 5 nose tackle. He's got a 4 on this side, and David being a 6'6". Again, the nose tackle getting knocked off the play. 5-yard pickup.
Yeah.
Couple of plays in a row where Danny Shelton unable to make the stop. McCaffrey picking up solid yardage.
Oh, now that time the zone was double stuffed on the defensive side, but they find that 3 for 15 yards, and now the Jets are in just a first down away from being in field goal range. They're on the cusp of field goal range at the 37. So,
yeah, you figure unless there's a big sack, they're at least in 4-down territory range by now.
12 yards.
So we're seeing McCaffrey get into the action here. 6 for 25 now.
Just feeding them now. He started off the drive with what? 1 carry. He's up to 6 now. Probably 5 of the last 6 plays have been just McCaffrey pounding away.
Here he goes again up the middle.
Guard will throw the block.
Yes. So we get Feliciano making the block here. 7-yard pickup. 2nd and 3.
Yeah, missed one earlier. Stays ahead of the chains.
We see Jeff show blitz here.
Five more yards.
So we got a first down. McCaffrey's been, 3 first downs on this drive, running and 1 receiving. So he's been a horse. Showing blitz.
At the 13, you're just 1 short pass away from 6 points. He throws a flare, and the linebacker makes the play out there. He's only a 4, I believe.
I was just about to say, you could sacrifice a 4 on the outside and bring Dante Fowler in for a pass rusher here. And, of course, just about the time I'm thinking of that, the 4 makes a great play. So,
yeah.
What do I know?
If he misses, it's likely a touchdown. 2nd and 10.
Fowler would be going against DeCastro as part of the problem.
Okay.
He's a pass blocker. It's a draw. It's going to get 0 men in zone. 5-yard pickup for Montgomery on this play. And inside the 10, now you're out of containment.
Yeah.
And with McCaffrey, not a bad guess right runner compared to most of the cards in this set for a couple of 3 yards. If you get to, 4th and goal, 3rd and 2 or 4th and 2 inside the 10 here, he might go for it as well. So run's definitely big time in play now.
And with McCaffrey in the backfield, that does give you an option. You can go full house here, and you still have another really good passing option. You got 3 legitimate good targets.
He's double teaming, but he went for Andrews and passes to Moore, but incomplete. And we got a 4th and 5. We'll see Bailey almost for sure here. He missed some extra points, but he made almost all his field goals this year. And he's got a solid card even out to the 50-yard plus range. So
yeah,
we got a 3-3 tie.
Okay. Deep into the end zone. I don't think you'll see Barner bring this one out. So Lamar trailing for the first time in this game. Okay, so it's pretty early. But 3-3.
17 or 8 end runs left for Lamar Jackson. So got plenty of those plays whenever he wants to use them.
Mm-hmm. 3 wide set and a pistol.
Flat right to Gurley. Pass rush here is triggered if it comes up. Complete.
Wrong. Yeah, he was uncovered, but that 7 comes up. Yeah, You can key the quarterback, and if the 7's going to come up on Todd Gurley's flat card, it's just not going to be a catch. It is what it is. Second and 10.
Seeing the pass rush shown again. Now, with Hollywood Brown in, he's on a 4, so it gives you a little bit better chance of beating a defender deep. Zach Ertz is capped at like 30 yards, so he's not as big a deep threat.
There's the deep pass attempt.
We'll go to John Brown versus a 5, incomplete off Jackson's card. 3rd and 10.
Still showing pressure.
Now, Chandler Jones is a 6 versus the run. Short pass to John Brown, and there's the big sack, Chandler Jones.
Yeah.
First of the day. There's a possibility in some situations you might even think Chandler Jones might, think about doing quarterback shadowing. He's one of those guys that could do it very well, at least get half of them, but it'd have to be really the right situation. I don't think you'll see it very often, if at all. With a 6,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, with a 6 only affecting half the shadows, and if you're not a 6 versus the run, even fewer. It's just not a great strategy most of the time, but there are, every year I'll find a situation here or there that it seems like good call for the down and distance.
Mm-hmm. Oh, double team. So took away a receiver chance. Good call by the defense. That was the first time we've seen Oakland have a 3 and out today. And 2nd and 10 at the 34.
If you're the Jets, you're feeling good on defense. Here you are midway through the second. You gave up a couple long drives, only 3 points. If you can just get your offense rolling. And
that time the Jets went back to a draw play again. This time run was called. So double stuff in that linebacker zone. There was one guy in the zone anyway. So what's the difference there, Tim, between one guy in the zone and 2 guys in the zone?
It's a couple of yards. Would have been +5 and had nobody. Yeah, same with nobody there. So
3rd and 5, it's still run contained, but it's certainly leaves flat passes a little bit more in play than 3rd and 7.
3rd and 7. So you've got a nickelback who's a 5. Nice little weapon to have for Oakland. That's part of their having a great season versus the past as far as average game. Calling run short to McCaffrey.
Boy. Got away with it. 3rd and 7, called run, and came up receiver, a miss. So,
and he's 26 short or 5 out of 1 through 6. So excellent receiver out of the backfield, but it's still one of those. When it comes up receivers, there's still a lot of misses on all the cards. He's going to miss 6 out of 36.
So Oakland got away with one on that one.
Ooh. Had Burner not called a fair catch just down the right sideline, it looked like they had a blocking alley going, but he makes the fair catch.
Yeah, you just mentioned that. I mean, that's the only fair catch on the card. Now, granted, on the other side of the card, if it's an 11, that's a devastating play. So
he's incredibly lucky his fumble is not on 10. If you look at Strat's history, a guy with only 2 fair catches almost always has a fumble on 4 or 10.
So back to the pro set. Short pass to Zach Ertz. Pressure coming.
He's going to get 30 again.
Yeah. 2nd time we've seen that today.
66 yards rushing for Lamar Jackson, 60 of it on a couple of must runs. One of them on 3rd down. At that time, Chandler Jones had a 32 chance at the sack, but it was a 63 random. So Joe Thuley held him off on that one. That will be the right guard, or excuse me, the left guard going at the high linebacker.
-1, Lamar Jackson guessed right. That could have been a whole lot worse. You look at all those other negatives around there. Most of them are more like sacks. So the -1, you can live with that. Good call by the defense.
Yep, and we would have seen 5 yards, so 6-yard difference on first down. That's a big play. Just showing blitz again. And he's got a run set. He's still in the pro set, so you could see Lamar Jackson come up again here. Short to John Brown.
No pressure coming this time.
Near that long gain for John Brown. Right.
Yeah, just a whole lot of hits there. But that one's a miss.
So John Brown and Robbie Anderson, I believe, maybe 4 short. So Zach Ertz is definitely his. Robbie's a 5. Zach Ertz is a 5 short. So he's got a couple of guys that have decent hands. Marquise Brown, the rookie, working against a 4, definitely a thought here.
John Brown's maxed out short, isn't he?
It's a good thought. I thought he was a 5. You're right. He is maxed out. There's Marquise Brown.
Making the catch.
From Lamar. And picks up the first down, moving inside Jet territory to the 44, working toward the end of the first half with 3:36 left.
It's been a fast-moving half. Here's a short guess wrong for 15. And the Raiders are in field goal range. All started with that 30-yard must run.
Be interesting to see how this plays out. If you're the Jets, they're showing blitz here on first down. You'd like to knock them out of field goal range. So a sack or calling and getting a -7 on an end run for Lamar Jackson really be nice to knock him back a few yards. But you're also worried about giving up a 3-play first down and not getting a possession again this half. So here's Gurley on a linebacker, extra man in zone, affects the play. He only gets 5 instead of 9. And that was a double box reading. So it's one of those with the draw play, guess wrong, could have popped a big one.
Yeah. But as it is, 2nd and 5, you're ahead of the chains.
Not as worried about a sack or a end run guess right now at the 24. So could open the playbook up a little, but 2:24 remaining.
That zone's open. No, it's not. I looked at it wrong.
It's going to be a 2-yard pickup, setting up 3rd and 3. And Tom's going to take a timeout with 2:06 left to save 1 extra tick of the clock.
Big 3rd down here, Tim.
Yeah. Interesting. If we go for the sellout here, Seals Jones deep against a 0 with nobody deep. Possible touchdown play there. Lamar's not great deep. That's not his strong suit, but you got to throw some in every once in a while. And you figure this is a down. If you're going to get a sellout, this is one of those you might get it against Gurley. It's not showing blitz.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the cat and mouse.
We haven't seen Ertz come up too much today.
No, we haven't.
Looking
at it early.
6 in the zone.
Incomplete. A couple of plays early, unable to make the catch on.
Gurley having a rough day catching.
Old reliable Justin Tucker on. Had only 1 field goal missed during the regular season. And he's nailing this one for a 6-3 Oakland lead.
So is Fitztragic getting the ball back or Fitzmagic getting the ball back inside of 2 minutes here? Short kick. Fielded at the 8.
Nice coverage with a 14-yard return. So Jets won't have good field position to start, but McCaffrey's one of those guys that can change that in a hurry with a 2 or a 12.
So does McCaffrey get a couple runs to sort of feel the water? It looks like he's getting a pass here. And nice solid 6-yard gain inbounds. You know, a lot of people have been clamoring for Strat to make out of bounds be the odd numbers instead of the even numbers. Some people say it should be 2 out of 3. I don't know if I want to go there, but the odd numbers make more sense to me. I do think you'd have it on the offensive card more. And it's like the offensive player is in control of the play. You can control whether it gets out of bounds. There's short gain around the end, guessed wrong for McCaffrey. And that's a big hit.
So that's a nice play. You don't want to give the ball back to Oakland. So you definitely were hoping to get at least some field position or a first down, and they get both. And we'll see if he uses a timeout or just goes hurry up here.
It just goes hurry up. He's got 2 timeouts left. That's a big play because your drive is you're right where you want to be. A minute, 2 timeouts left. You're at your own 45. 2 more first downs, you'll be in field goal range or a big play.
Yep. It's kind of some of the value of McCaffrey comes in here. You're not so worried about every carry of his. You're not like concerned, oh, I don't want to use 3 or 4 carries and maybe a drive that doesn't do much at the end of the half. I've got to save him, blah, blah, blah. He's got tons of carries. So this is a good situation where you get the extra use of McCaffrey being a real threat for a big play, but also just keeps the chains going.
Yeah. And Tom's got Montgomery, who is a sneaky good card. He's not afraid to use them.
I think McCaffrey and Aaron Jones are extremely similar value this year as far as what they can do for you with volume, with, good ratio of first down chain moving and big plays on offense, great receivers. Yeah,
McCaffrey's definitely better guessed right than Jones is, but we like Aaron Jones. We're happy to have him.
Yeah,
30 yard. Third down.
Got no blitz being shown. Here's a guessed right pass to Andrews. Going to pick up 8 and probably going to see one of the – he gets out of bounds. Saves over 2 timeouts. Open 38.
There's a good chance that the Jets will be taking a timeout into the locker room with them the way with the ticks remaining. But happy to get that first down or 38-yard line, knocking on the door of field goal range right before the end of this half.
Yep. Won't have to use any spikes, so he's got extra down perhaps by having a couple of timeouts. He's going to have to use one of them here.
Big play by Brandon Graham there. Brandon Graham makes that stop and stops the hemorrhaging a little bit on the defense.
Yep, they would have been right at the fringe where the variable field goal could kick you into the sweet spot of Danny Bailey in that 40-yard range instead of 50. So that's a nice stop there.
Oakland goes nickel here.
Wouldn't be a surprise at all to see McCaffrey run here, coming out of a running set with a blocking back set.
Does the defense have the courage to call run in this situation? They move the man up, going to get 6 yards to Cooper Kupp.
Does he get out of bounds? He does.
One timeout left.
You've got a play.
Yeah.
And a timeout.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's a big play of getting out of bounds. You don't want to use that timeout if you can avoid it there.
To me, here's the point where if you have Dante Fowler, you think about using him, the difference of a 4 linebacker coming up, against maybe Richard, I might get Dante Fowler into the game just to give me one extra pass rusher if I do call pass.
So does Tom look to? He goes deep. He goes for it. Gets the wow. Look at that.
DJ Moore gets behind the 5 defensive back and ges into the end zone as Ryan Fitzpatrick hits the bomb. Kind of
Huge
reminds me
play.
of Sunday.
Wow.
Kind of reminds you of Sunday when Brady hit Scotty Miller deep on
Yeah.
a play. There should be no way you get a receiver or a quarterback reading like that, and it comes up.
Yeah. So with is an interesting call. Do you go for the end zone there, which obviously worked out, or you're right on the edge where the variable can knock you out, right? Knock you back. And
that's what
so
I'm talking about Dante Fowler. You can't if you want to take a shot, you throw him up there, and maybe his 8 or 9 pass rush comes up, and it's a load shot against DeCastro, but you throw a couple different options there, because from the 33 or 32 or whatever, if you get 4 or 5 yards, the field goal chance doesn't go up that much. But if you get a sack, you're not 3 points off the board almost for sure. So it's one of those high risk, high reward kind of things if you want to think about going all out blitz, or maybe just shooting a couple of linebackers and trying to trigger the pass rush and hoping to get lucky on the random chart.
well, as Dennis would say, no risk it, no biscuit. Came
That's
up the
right.
9 on Fitz Magic's card on that one.
Yep.
And avoids the interceptions, which are out there too. But 7 points.
And with New York having to kick off, that's really a huge play. You're, like I say, on the cusp of field goal range there. If the wind's going against you, you're 2 through 5, and I think 2 through 9 or something if it's not. So you're right at the cusp of field goal range. You're thinking probably, I don't know, where I'm at, maybe worth 2 points if I were to go for the field goal. But, hit a 7-point play there. Huge, huge play in the game.
So let's look at the halftime stats, if it would, here, Tim.
Time stats. Don't have any music for this. Again, we're playing with no sponsors here, unless Jay's getting some money on the side and keeping it. So far,
dead even. Look at that.
Look at the yardage: 5.6 per play, 5.5, 30 for 168, and 31 for 169.
9 first downs each.
Rushing yards 78-73, passing yards 96-90. This is a very even game. Lamar Jackson carrying the load rushing. Christian McCaffrey, of course, doing most of the work for the Jets.
Couple key misses by Gurley. Cost ended a couple Oakland drives. Where he just numbers just didn't come up. Who's been catching passes for these guys here? Let's see who's. Gurley's got 3 catches. That's the most on the team. Only 1 catch for Ertz for 14 yards. Seals Jones got 1. Robbie Anderson 2 for John Brown, 2 for Marquise Brown. So the running backs leading receivers for both teams. Not a surprise, McCaffrey's got 4 catches.
Hadn't seen either quarterback working deep a lot until that last play. I've seen a lot of underneath looking at flat zones, trying to catch, double teams and linebackers out of zones, blitzing, or like say double teaming. But when they decided to go deep, the Jets come up with a huge play.
Yeah, I mean that's a huge play. 36 yards right there, 31 yards, and that's the difference in this game. They're taking a few minutes. I'm gonna get a cup of water real fast. I'll be right back.
Sounds good. Our halftime show is going to be sponsored by, we don't have any sponsors, so we don't have a halftime show. We've got a really good football game going, though. The Jets 10-6 ahead of the Oakland Raiders. Oakland's one of those teams that you kind of see coming on a little bit the last couple of years, and then drafting Lamar Jackson. I believe it was in round 2 of the 2018 draft. It's a lot of coaches that needed, and I'm not meaning to rub this in, a lot of coaches and teams that needed quarterbacks kind of looked at him as like, I don't know. I wasn't really sold on him myself. I wasn't in the quarterback market, but I don't know that I'd have spent a first round on him, so I'm right there with you. You know, of course, I was the great visionary on Josh Allen being a bad pick and not having much of a chance. So Josh Allen's obviously turned it around, but I think there's a lot of people that are kind of off on him. I think Lamar Jackson's one of those enigma kind of guys, and I'm not sold. He's got a really long, elite career as an NFL player. Could be one of those guys that does play for a long time, but might not be, best card in the set or top 5 or 10 quarterback year in, year out. We'll see, though. He's definitely had a good first 2 seasons. I know Tom's interested in what happens at quarterback on his team. He's had Fitzpatrick, and I don't know what his card will look like, of course, in 2020. A little bit better season coming from Sam Darnold, but Tom's a guy that's got a lot of good players working. He has not really a newcomer in the last year or two. He's always been building good teams. Recently, his teams have kind of, been recovering from the Andrew Luck sudden departure. So he's had to scramble a little bit to get some quarterback coverage. But otherwise, Tom's one of those guys that's kind of building year in, year out. He's not one of those that really surprises you with one off season where he goes all in. And it sounds like Jay's close to being back. I'm going to go refill coffee, and I'll be back in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm back. So shouldn't be too much longer. We'll see the participants come back and get back at it after a very entertaining, very close first half. All right, here comes Tom. Says, here we go. And the kickoff. 3 yards deep into the end zone. Justice Hill is happy to take a knee, and that's where Oakland will start out.
Justice Hill, cousin of Hank Hill, I'm telling you what.
So are we seeing a blocking back set, or is that just the computer manager putting that in?
No, we do have a blocking back set. So offensive coordinators change things up here, and Tom's going to put blitz on first down here. First time Oakland's had the ball without being ahead or tied. Short to Ertz.
Pressure coming.
Everybody's coming. He gets 11 yards.
Yeah, the super low interception from Lamar Jackson created the hole there for 11 to be a completion.
It's a good point.
Looking at a pick there.
Yep, and there's Joe Thuney coming up with the block. 42 chance there. Free safety blitz. You don't get the, what their 90 chance at a 95 random, but once again.
Nobody in the zone, but he's down again. 4th sack, I believe.
And that'll be the second one for Chandler Jones. We'll take a look at the stats. 4th sack, 27 yards lost by Lamar Jackson. And he's got one of those cards that he's got like roughly 8 through 12 or 9 through 12 is a sack off the must-run column. So he'll get some that really don't amount to a full sack, but they've gotten their money's worth yardage-wise on the 4 sacks so far.
And, the running game has not been able to keep Tom honest as far as bringing that pressure. There he comes again.
It's more the carries than the quality, isn't it? It's the fact that Lamar Jackson only gets so many.
Maxed out receiver misses. That 7 is just devastating. So unless you're Christian McCaffrey or another running back that's good, those 7 when it comes up on receivers just a dead end.
Come up without having a lot of luck at times. Going to the dime here. Not showing blitz, 3rd and 15. And you've got Ertz, who's not a guy that's got a lot of plus 15s on his guest right short card, and Marquise Brown at 12.7, not so many either. So you're kind of hoping you get a must run if you're Jeff, if you throw short, and a little tougher throw long on 3rd and 15 because the defense knows it's possible.
So that last play, the X die came up, wiping out all of the chances for a sack, and yet the dice still didn't work out for the Raiders on that.
Tom's checking a rule. Any possibility you think it has to do with quarterback shadowing?
Yeah, that would make sense. I guess, you've got Chandler Jones out there at a 6. He might be the option to shadow, right?
Some of these safeties, as far as filling in, they're both 4s. So if you got a Lamar Jackson end run and you want to blitz Chandler Jones, you can still throw one of these safeties into the flat zone. You don't really have to worry about the linebacker zone a whole lot unless you go draw and go for boxes. That's all you're going to get. You're not going to get like a ton of short gain yards off Gurley's cards. So
right.
We'll take a look at Gurley just to confirm that. But yeah, you're only getting a 2, 3, and 12 where you're going to pick up the 15, and on the 2 and 3, that's barely over half the time. So one of those situations too, you can't shadow with a defensive back. It'll have to be with a linebacker. So he's only got 2 options on that. And one of those guys isn't guarding anybody. The other is Chandler Jones, who you kind of want to have pass rushing. But if you use this guy who's a 4, you're only going to get 1/3 of the shadows actually work for you. You can get 3 out of 6 if you use Chandler Jones, but you're taking a 12 asterisk 12 out of the pass rush. So long to Marquise Brown, double teamed, throwing 2 men into the zone. Dump off 13.
13. In between the 20 and the 30.
Middle of the road teams as far as going for it on 4th down, but 4th and 2, he's going to go at his own 44.
Well, that's a big play here.
It's a big play. Go big or go home, right, DC?
Yes, sir. We know he'd go for it.
He'd go for it on 4th and 32. So no blitz. Short to John Brown. Double teaming.
Guess right.
Must run 10 yards.
Oh, wow. What a drop off. I mean, every time I see it, it still surprises me.
Yeah.
Right? You got 10 on a 7, 1 on an 8. That's just a huge cliff.
When I played this card early, that factored into my not shadowing more, to be quite honest with you. That's just one of the things that kept coming up in my mind is, it's only 2 through 7. It'll hurt a lot on those 10, 11, 12s, but really it's only going to hurt on 2 through 4. And we've seen a couple of those already, but Oakland's only got 6 so far. So in the zone, but the pass rush comes through for the 5th time in this game.
Wow.
Nardic, McKinney, pressure being caused by Ingram, who's had a couple of sacks already against a 7. So as we talked about early in the broadcast, you can beat 7s with enough pressure.
Yeah, of course, that one was a 1-yard loss. Obviously, you're not getting any first downs from it or anything, but you don't mind a 1-yard loss. It's those big ones that hurt you.
Not as catastrophic, obviously, as a big one, but it was a 9-yard pickup there. But it was an empty flat zone, so -1 when you've got an empty flat zone is definitely hurt on moving the chains. But he kind of gets out of that with a 9-yard pickup by Lamar Jackson. So got to a 3rd and 2 here, back into the running set.
It's the first time we've seen Lamar's card guessed wrong. He's been guessed right once or twice. It's the first time we've seen it. Maybe the defensive card too, but the first time we've seen Lamar's card guessed wrong that I can remember.
I think you're right. I think it's came off the defensive card before. Here's Gurley again, unable to come up with a play. That time Lamar Jackson with the pass to him that's incomplete, but he's had some shots. I believe that pass we were looking at just before with the flat zone empty was a Gurley play. So had some plays that Gurley that just haven't worked out. He's thrown at him often. 4th and 2. Here we go. Jets 38. This is definitely a go for it on 4th down and distance.
Go up the middle, guessed right. Nobody in the hole.
Short game.
Short gain, right or wrong. Wow. There's only 7 chances on the offensive card of getting those 2 yards. Now, defensive card is a different story now. But on the offensive card, that's not where you wanted that guess right.
Nope. So kind of getting a break after a couple of pretty good passing shots to Gurley. Didn't work out on this drive and almost cost them on downs. They were able to get it on a guess right tough run by Gurley. And John Brown gets 15 on a guess wrong. Or I'm sorry, gets 11 on a guess wrong, down to the 11.
Wow, so cut that distance in half, and they're looking to take the lead.
And definitely brings the free safety blitz into big-time play. As we've seen, the Jets pass rush, 38 sacks in the regular season, came to this game. Short to Robbie Anderson, another big pass rush, gets the blocking, hits Anderson.
Touchdown. Back and forth we go.
Some big conversions there, picking up a couple of fourth downs, one at their own 44. So Jeff's able to put together the first drive of the second half, get the lead back 13-10.
Yeah, if he gets stopped there, and of course that was so close. It was the must run on the 7. If it's an 8, he doesn't get it, and he could be looking at being 2 scores down. Instead, converts those, makes the right calls and gets the right rolls, and we've got Oakland back in front.
Plenty of carries left for McCaffrey. As the game progresses, the quality rushing attempts starts working in the Jets' favor. As Lamar Jackson's already used several of his, and McCaffrey still sitting on 15. Of course, Montgomery, a good second back, but you look at your prime running threats, and that's going to favor the Jets at this point.
Up the middle, one man in the zone, guessed wrong. Guard throws the block, said Jose Feliciano. Look at Jose Feliciano. He says, Feliz Navidad.
What was it? Steve Bichelle said something about, you got Jose Feliciano, you're doing all right, or something. He's trying to brag to someone.
Draw play, dreaded 5.
0. Haven't seen the 5 a whole lot. We've seen it more the 7s on the receiver cards and the 5 blanks there than we have on the running plays.
That's because I rolled it about 12 times in my IFL game. I got it out of the system for tonight. So these guys are okay.
There's a draw. It's going to get rid of the blitzer. 6-yard pickup. Gets him out of containment, 3rd and 4.
Takes guts to run a draw play now, the other side, if they call a run, it just blows that play right up. So it takes guts, and no guts, no glory.
Yeah, this is one of those down and distance where McCaffrey is just such a great value. I mean, you've got an excellent receiver coming out of the backfield who can go deep. He goes off tackle.
Nose tackle.
Down. Third time Danny Shelton hadn't made the play. Hadn't cost him for big plays, but they've got the extra 3 to 5 yards 3 times on him so far.
Mm-hmm. So just like that, we've got the Jets over across midfield into Oakland territory.
Nearing 4-down territory, you would think, unless gets to be 4th and 10. Here's a 6-yard pickup, Cooper Kupp. Kupp had a big catch for a first down near the end of the first half, setting up the long touchdown to DJ Moore. So we got a 2nd and 4 here. I've been seeing a lot of blitz being shown so far by the Raiders. Linebacker McCaffrey is going to get that +6 again. It's going to set up 1st and 10 at the 32. So you're at the cusp of field goal range. Danny Bailey's pretty good actually out here. He's like 2 through 5 or 6. We'll take a quick look at.
Big difference between his 23 to 32 and 13 to 22, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah, he's 2 through 8 in the 4th set, and then 2 through 6. And here's
doesn't matter.
47 yards. We talked too soon about Brandon Graham, who doesn't make the play there. 47-yard touchdown of 32 yards. And Jets using big plays, a couple of 30-plus yard touchdowns. I believe the other was right at 32 yards as well.
Yeah.
If Bailey can nail it, they'll have a 4-point lead.
Yeah, I think that was a 31-yarder. So, yeah, no point looking up his field goal columns when you got a 37-yarder waiting on deck.
That's right.
Back and forth we go.
Take a quick look at the box score. Yardage stays even. Jets have a little more rushing yards, a little more passing yards for Oakland. Check Lamar Jackson, 6 end runs until he gets a limit. And it's a hard limit on end runs. You don't get a couple fatigued carries. So 20 minutes left, maybe overtime. And you'll have to look at Gurley for a lot of his running plays. Again, how many flat pass sacks is this, Jay? This is like 4 flat pass sacks.
Yeah.
I mean,
and the yardage isn't too bad, but
yeah, it's a really big deal to get those. I feel if I've had a great pass rush here, you might get 10 over a course of a season. And he's had like 3 or 4 of them today. Chandler Jones, 15 going against State, 4. And it's 1 through 40 maxed out chance. And he got a random 1. So 2nd and 13. And again, it's not just the -3. That was an empty zone he was throwing into.
Yep.
So Tom's winning the again sack. He is winning the pass rush chart battle today. Chandler Jones, 4 sacks. You think he's not happy he traded for him, sitting here in a playoff game with 4 sacks.
And again, the running game just doesn't keep Tom honest, where he's able to just and he's not getting hurt by those open flats. So, he's just going to keep bringing it, and it's just going to keep working. It's been working.
That's a big point. The fact that it hadn't been hurting him on the flat pass zeros, and dang, you think, do I want to go long to somebody and take advantage of that 0 men deep? And you're like, I can't even protect on a flat pass right now. So all those 7s, that's just one of those things. Oakland has not had to face a lot, getting sacked a bunch.
Yeah,
Lamar Jackson had a lot of sacks, but you're getting him off the must-run card normally.
Exactly. So he gets half of it back, but that's not what they need. Tyler Irvin's going to feel around his 30 and just missed the fumble as he takes the fair catch. And so
we'll see David Montgomery. Yeah, I think we're going to see David Montgomery getting some carries over the next couple of drives, down to 10 for McCaffrey. So wouldn't be shocked to see Montgomery get some play here for the next 10 minutes or 8 to 10 minutes of action. So look into McCaffrey.
No help. 2nd and 10. Looked at
Walking
the defender there.
Three, 4, no blitz.
So the defender had lost coverage, but that's just such a bad die roll that there's nothing you can do with that. It's just a dead spot. It's so big 6-yarder there. Montgomery guessed wrong, and so he stays ahead of the chain, or gives himself. He's out of run contain on 3rd and 4.
He's pretty good at that. He's got 19 shots of 6 or more. So he's one of those guys that in this set, that's pretty good for getting 6 or more off tackle.
For a guy that averaged like 3.7 a carry or something, that's a pretty nice card.
Yep. And a guess wrong, short to DJ Moore. He's going to break it and go 42 yards. Second huge play of the game by DJ Moore. That just a straight out long gain on the 3 men short.
Again, no injury. That was 666. So we don't see an injury there, but we see 42 yards.
And at the 21, the Jets comfortably in field goal range to stretch their lead to 7. And if they got a touchdown, could go up by 11 with about 17 minutes left at this point. So big goal line or big stand coming up on D.
Jeez, Pete's another one.
David
Boom,
Montgomery
boom, boom.
flat and getting a linebacker 6-0. There was a man in the zone and going for 38-yard, 21-yard touchdown.
Consecutive long gains, that'll take some starch out of your collar sometimes.
That will. That's the fourth long play for the Jets. Seen a couple by Oakland on, a pair of must runs for 30, but the Jets winning the big play battle.
Mm-hmm. So the winner of this game goes on to play the Seahawks. Showing blitz.
He's not backing off of it. He's stayed with it this whole game.
Plenty of time left.
Yep. We'll see if at some point that sniper scope,
Here they come.
see if he can block them. He does.
Well, third must-run 30-yarder.
I'm sure Jeff's like, I've had games where I've had 3 11s in a row for -3, but that's been his big play today. 3 different times, and Jackson 8 for 114, still sitting on 6 end runs. So huge rushing day for Jackson.
There's Chandler Jones against Ricky Seals-Jones again. So, we're not seeing any of the other. We saw Ingram a couple times, but boy, Chandler Jones's number is getting called a lot.
You're right. It's got a 1 out of 3 chance, 2 and 6 of coming up, and they're both 12. So he's going to get those. But he got an 83 on the random chart there. So here's a look in again, an empty zone, but 4-yard pickup. It's going to be guessed right as long as you meet the criteria of 5 linebackers on the line of scrimmage in blitz zones and only 1 double team, then you get a guess right if you call pass. So 2nd and 6. Bombed it along. Shot he's had deep.
Needed that on the other side of the card.
That's right.
What's that short column look like on a 9? It's always a lot easier game if you know what the die roll is.
Yeah. 15, yeah. I was going to say, I saw that one earlier. I was thinking it's 11, but 15 on that one.
Like I said, no, it's an easy game if you know what the die roll is ahead of time.
That's exactly right. So 3rd and 6, we're not seeing a blitz being shown. Short to Zach Ertz.
Oh, I got the 9 that time. Oh, tough spot on the field. Well, at 4th and 6, what do you do at 4th and 6 down 11 points? It's hard to go for it on 4th and 6.
I would, I'm one of those that probably have to punt. If it's 4th and 3 or 2 with the score, I'd probably go for it. But, man, 4th and 6, that's a tough one.
Yeah, you wanted to pick up a few yards, stay out of this long situation. Back to showing blitz again. See if he backs out of it. Cat and mouse. Got that pass rushing 0 on the outside. He's going short. Down he goes.
Kenny Clark coming into play this time as a 9 as a nose tackle. That's a large one. He had 3 additional linebackers, but that's a really big rating. And on the 1 through 39, got the 28. Amazing game for the Jets pass rush in this one.
It's got to be about 8 sacks.
Up to 9 sacks for 52 yards on 35 dropbacks, 9 sacks.
And how many? And there's like 4 7s along that line for the Raiders, right?
Yep, I believe everybody, but maybe the right guard is a 7. So
we just saw Frederick get beat at a 5, so
maybe that's it.
He's a 5, and obviously Ricky Seals-Jones is a 5. But in the line, there's other 7s out there, and they've been getting beat too.
So 2nd and 5, is this the time you're thinking he's going short yardage? He doesn't want me to pick up anything. I'm going deep, and I'm going deep to Montgomery or somebody like that. No, he's going to look into Andrews.
White die 6.
And Andrews just, again, one of the best cards in the set at tight end. He's one of those guys you can throw to all day long if you want. He's got 4 for 34 in this one. I used Eric Ebron a lot like that last year. I did not have a lot of good receiving options, and I just had to bite the bullet on some double teams. It's like I've got to have somebody who'll catch the ball. So I throw a lot, and he's done that with Andrews, but he's got a diverse, good group of receivers. So it's a little harder to focus in on one great guy when you've got better complementary receivers like he does. So we've got a 2nd and 8 as Montgomery again getting some carries, gets a couple of yards. That's 4 for 13 for Montgomery. McCaffrey back in on 2nd and 8.
Andrews got his double teamed on this one. Oh, just misses the hit, but also avoids the auto pick on 11. So Oakland really, boy, it could have really helped him to get a pick there.
Especially in the touchdown flats out there.
Yep.
We get the extra boost.
So good call by the defense. 3rd and 8. The 33. I think I would bet the Jets just want to get a few to try to get in that 2 to 8 field goal range.
Yep. And Jeff takes a shot thinking the exact same thing. Good call by him.
How many yards did he save there, Tim? What's that 8 guess wrong?
And you knock Danny Bailey out of the 7 and 8 makes. I think he's 2 through 6 and then 2 through 8, depending on the wind here.
He got it.
Got the 2 through 8 and got it. Again, that couple of yards there could have made a difference. That one was actually helped. He had a 3-yard helpful breeze on that particular down. We have a touchback and 27-13. Now, Jackson's one of those guys, typically, you can just go, I mean, with all those 7 pass blockers, you just drop back and throw shorts. Let me take a quick note. So
that was a flat guess wrong. So I don't know if a run was actually called or if there was nobody in the zone.
yeah,
I guess there was nobody in the zone.
Yeah, that's see at the bottom it mentions no men in zone. So yeah, that must have been the play. He must not have had the right combination of guys.
Mm-hmm.
Sack run.
Yep.
10 sacks today.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Clark's up to 3. I'm not sure how many. He caused 1 we know of. That must-run sack he gets credit for. That's just killing the Raiders down in distance. So 10 sacks and all the things that happen if you don't get a sack. You get throws into the short zone that become dump-offs if they're not completed. If it's off the quarterback card, you got must-runs. He's throwing at empty flat zones. So there's a lot of big plays that you're missing just by not getting protection there. And again, it's just something Oakland can't be used to with all those 7s.
So we get Lamar guessed wrong. He picks up about half of it. Still a 3rd and long, but you can think about going for a 4th down, especially if you get a few here.
Yep. Here's another flat left to Gurley. 1 man there.
What's that? 6? Oh, -5. Gurley, just struggling catching the ball.
If you get a linebacker 6-0 on the defensive card, you don't want the receiver card. But if you get it, man, the -5 there is just brutal. So
yeah,
a -6 on a must run, and -5 on a flat. 2 tough plays for the Raiders when they absolutely felt probably we've got to get 7 on this drive. So,
yeah, if the Jets can string together some first downs here, the clock's going to become a big problem. Getting some error messages. 20-yard short gain. Nothing short about that short gain from Montgomery.
So he's getting some play, and he has contributed. We've seen him come up with a big touchdown reception, and he's ran the ball well. Off tackle right, or I guess wrong rather, and Montgomery picks up 5. Setting up a 2nd and 5, 8:06 left.
So Fitzpatrick has the Oakland defense respecting the pass, and we're seeing Montgomery cracking ahead. Another guessed wrong run, only 2 yards this time, so 3rd and 3. Raiders have to have a stop here.
Tom's one of those guys that's mixed it up in the past, but he's also had some bad luck on a couple of playoff times where, you know, he had the right call, but you hit the short pass on 9 off the defensive card, and it's like a catastrophic interception. You get a feeling with the lead and the way this game's kind of gone, I don't think you're going to see a big high-risk offense for Tom at this point. I get a feeling he's going to use his good offensive line and his good running backs and try to keep the clock moving and not turn it over. There's a short gain for Montgomery. Again, you know, Jeff knows runs likely, but, you know, if you're going to get a game-changing play, at this point, it's probably going to be on an interception and hopefully interception return. So you're not going to get many of those guessed wrong. So you kind of got to keep your linebackers at home and call pass sometimes to hope to get a game-changing play here.
So just around the end, guess right, still 5 yards. That's a good guessed right end run card. You know, there's only the one negative there of a -3 on a 6. Not the 5 itself, the dreaded 5 isn't even negative yards. So
I think McCaffrey started like 3 carries for 6 yards, and we were talking the first quarter, and he's got 145 and having a great game. 6.4 per carry, 23 for 148 for McCaffrey. Came up with a really great drive sometime in the second quarter where he picked up like 2 or 3 rushing first downs and a receiving first down and kind of got Tom's offense rolling.
Brandon Graham gets beat again. He made that one play early, and boy, these have both been huge because that gets him off the field. You know, you get a field goal attempt from 2 to 8 range where you maybe keep it in the 2 scores, but yeah, this is it's being salted away now.
Yeah, and of course he makes the play here. Jeff's like, why weren't you making those earlier? Yeah.
Yep. Where were you yesterday?
So we're under 4 minutes, 2-score game inside good field goal range. Really tough, but never know. We saw a playoff game Sunday. A lot of things happened you would have never thought would happen, and Seattle ended up getting out of a quarterfinal game against, quarterfinal game against the Rams.
Did I hear right that the Rams had a 2-11 field goal to make it a 2-score game at 2 minutes, and they rolled a 12?
That's exactly right. You'd figure Dennis' chances of leading the play before that field goal had to be less than 1%. And even after the field goal, you know, you're probably still looking at something in the single digits, and then all of a sudden it gets to like a huge +8 or +33 or +35. And he got like 3 consecutive runs from Ingram that just changed field position and the clock and got close. He got down to like 15 seconds, 3rd down, and got a short pass guessed right that was complete, and amazing comeback win.
Yeah. So this game was so close. As a matter of fact, Oakland took the lead to go ahead 17-14, and it has been it was 17-13. What was the score with that touchdown?
Yeah. And we saw back-to-back gigantic.
13-10. It was 13-10, right?
Yeah.
So we've seen 20 consecutive points for the Jets. We've seen 20 consecutive points for the Jets. So as things kind of slipped away, just those big plays, those Jets big plays.
And it looks like the game engine may cause us to start over here. But it was, I was going to look at the box score because you're right. I believe it was 13-10 Oakland, and the Jets had back-to-back huge plays, long gains back-to-back. passing, one on a short pass roll of 12, and then a flat pass linebacker 6-0 roll of 2. It got the ball into the end zone, picked up 65 yards or something on back-to-back. No, 70 yards on back-to-back plays and flipped this game.
And they haven't been stopped since. And of course, then the pass rush started hitting, and the pass rush has been hitting throughout, and we just didn't see the Raiders' offensive line hold up. They just couldn't hold up to Chandler Jones and the barrage of blitzing that was brought on by this Jets defense.
Yeah, if you're Tom, you feel like going into it, you probably made the conscious decision of how you wanted to go at Lamar Jackson. And he obviously decided, we talked about some of the options, shadowing, double teaming, go for the heavy pass rush. You think Jeff had the right strategy? To me, throwing all those flats, and in empty zones and figuring, I'm going to block, my sevens are going to block well, for flat passes, but it just wasn't coming up this game. The pass rush was getting through over and over.
And when they did hold up, Gurley dropped the ball or was thrown back for -5 on that last one. Rough day for Todd Gurley out of the backfield.
Yep, and I think we saw Lamar Jackson hit like a +4 in one of those, and you're wanting to, hey, Tom got a long gain on a linebacker 6-0 when I had him in there, and I'm throwing all these in empty zones. I want to hit a 2 sometimes too. I don't want to get +4 and receiver rolls and things like that. But those are just some of the breaks that come up game to game.
Yep. Yeah.
Try to rejoin. Yeah, there we go. There's Robbie Anderson, touchdown.
Well, I don't know how they got that. Well, of course, with Lamar, anything can happen. You got to go for 2 here. Go for 2. I guess not. It's 11. That makes it 10.
Yeah,
the 2 doesn't help you. You're exactly. Yeah, that's right. It got on me so quick. Did he get it back? Nope.
No. Okay. Let's take a look at the box scores we were about to do before we got interrupted. We were at 13-10 with 9:54 left. So that was basically the Raiders' opening possession of the second half. And McCaffrey scored from 32 from 5:06 left. And let's see. Montgomery had a 21-yard catch. That was the long gain with 148. And then DJ Moore had the catch at 2:06. So that was the back-to-back plays that actually put him up from 17-13 to 24-13.
Yeah.
See the Jets with a little bit of a yardage advantage now. 2 misses on 4th down. One of them was in the first half. The second one in kind of desperation situation later in the game. Statistically, Jackson had a great game, and he wasn't playing badly at all. It's just the offensive line in this particular game was not giving him the protection he needed. And you got a steady but not spectacular game from Fitzpatrick. He benefited from hitting a couple of edge long gains on linebacker 6-0 and the short card. But he got a lot of support from McCaffrey, 26 for 156, 8 for 52 for Montgomery, so 34 for 208. Big contribution from the Jets running game.
So any chance Oakland had there, they needed to try to get that touchdown. Got it close, right? It got a 4 instead of the 2, but they needed the touchdown, then they needed an onside kick, and a whole lot of help. But how many carries does Lamar have?
Probably about 4 or 5. 5.
Yeah, he didn't get to use them. Of course, now it's a gutsy call to call run out of the dime there. You got to pull your defenders up, but
it was a single back guest strike.
Oh yeah, okay, you're right. Yeah,
one of those weird ones. And Jackson didn't get out of bounds, so he'll have to spike it. And,
What is it? Guess wrong.
20.
Okay. You know, you got the 47, the 20, the 29, and the 36.
So we had Oakland had a great year. They had a excellent quarterback.
They just need a little bit more help, I think, in the running game. Gurley's knees just gave out at the wrong time to coincide with this great Lamar Jackson quarterback. So I think that might be an emphasis in the offseason to maybe upgrade running back.
I think Gurley had a better year, but he's not the kind of guy that
He's not what he was. Yeah.
Of Aaron Jones or McCaffrey or some of the Derrick Henry, Delvin Cook kind of guys that'll really generate 25-30% run calls against you.
Yeah. So congratulations to both. Entertaining game, and it's Tom gets to play Dennis, and I think Tim, you and I think we might know who we play next game, huh?
That's right. Any foreshadowing you want to give of some of your offensive or defensive strategies? I think our listeners would love to know.
Yeah, on offense, I'm either going to be running the ball or passing the ball. And on defense, I'm going to be calling pass, but I'm going to be mixing and calling in run. So that's probably what you want to look for.
Sounds good. And I feel like we've got a pretty even matchup. You won the regular season battle. I feel like you have the better team, but this is one of those years that, there's not a ton of separation in the playoffs where you feel like if I face them, I have no chance. I think all the teams in the playoffs had reasonable chances, even if you matched up against the number ones, Seattle or a team like that. I don't think it's like we saw some of the early years of SOMIFA where you're looking at some 14-2 teams that are, plus 200 point differentials. We've got a little more balance, I think, among playoff teams nowadays.
Yeah, well, you've got that two-headed monster at quarterback, so I'm not sure how to stop all that, but we'll just do what we can.
Yep. It's going to be an interesting game. We'll see if Tom joins. Michael Reeves was there, but I don't see him now. I was going to add him, but just as I was getting ready to click, kind of went away.
Yeah, go ahead. I've got a call tonight, so good job. Congratulations to both guys, and good luck to Jeff or to Tom moving forward, and congratulations, Jeff, for a good season.
Yeah, and special thanks to you, Jay, for joining the broadcast. It's always a lot more fun doing it with two people, so thanks for jumping in tonight, and have a good night.
All right, thanks, Tim. We'll see you.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and sign off as well. I was going to hang on just for a second, see if Tom jumped on, but we'll go ahead and sign off. Maybe we'll get together and do some kind of a review show for the Final Four for the last two games before the SOMIFA championship game. It's been a fun SOMIFA year. So many teams in the playoff battle. It ended up the 1, 2, 3, 4 seeds made it, but like we were just talking about, it could have easily been like the 9, 10, 11, 12, kind of get in this year. I didn't feel like my team was really any better than a couple of the teams that ended up 8-8. Things broke a little bit better, in a game or two, and that's the difference in just missing the playoffs and moving on. Now, Dennis does have a really strong team. He seemed to be a clear best team, and Jay's probably, like I say, got the second best team, and I feel like they're better than the next group of teams. But nobody's unbeatable. Dennis was really close to losing the last game, so nobody's unbeatable. It's going to be a really fun last couple of games, and I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Everybody have a great night. Thanks for watching.